I would now like to continue with this Larsen variation, but Larsen variation was knight on e6, so in these positions, knight e6, which is Larsen move, is the best. Knight c6 is much less played, and probably for a good reason, because if black really doesn't like move knight e6 back here, okay, then black is probably better off playing knight d4 variation, which we are also going to explore, queen d4, d6. Then black is probably better off doing this. Because here, in these positions, when you retreat knight to c6, you have more problem later with regrouping. Let's say queen t2, d6. Queen a5 does not achieve somehow desired result. Let's say rook to c1, d6, bishop e2. You cannot build here this Larsen type stuff, because Larsen had a knight on e6 and he could build this pawn push and put a bishop to c6. It doesn't work this way. Or to play b6 and to play bishop b7. With this knight on c6, you cannot push move g5 to get a grip on center, like what Larsen was doing. So then it's not clear what is the advantage of this knight on c6. You can push f5, but such a positions, which looks like English Open in colors reversed, are actually in general better for white. Why? Because here black is having rook d8 is not a great move, but white will have also better endings here. Black has also, bear in mind that black does have a pawn islands. And in one practical game, white was already clearly better. This knight is completely hopeless piece. And pawn is also hanging. In general, d6 can be also played. Bishop e2. Now if castles, bishop e6. Because you may argue that this is the reason of putting knight back to c6. That you now can do like a dragon type development, bishop on e6, but this is simply favorable for white. Because now white can change his mind. For example, rook a c1, queen a5, okay, b3, a6. It is logical for black that he would like to play this dragon type play if you can, but it's not so easy to get it done, because f4. Now f5 is not forced, but you probably need to stop white. Also moves like b5 are, I doubt, are really working. Because let's say takes, and if I take by bishop, you take. Okay, this is a pawn. I don't know how much is worth this pawn, but it is certainly a pawn. It is a pawn up. Sorry. No, I'm making a mistake actually. Move like b5, maybe she should have played move like b5. Okay, then maybe knight d5 is an option. Or f5 is a move which is an option. b5 was probably a better move than what was played. Or, okay, rook d1 can stop all this. Rook d1 can stop pawn push. And then move like f4 is going to come. Because now it is different story. Okay, I can take. They can take. This would be just pawn for nothing, because I can take back by rook, and a2 is protected. So then this whole idea does not seem to really work if you cannot push b5. So I am pessimistic about this play for black. We had also one game of Delche where he played move rook fd1 first, rook ac8, b3, rook fe8, f4. Again, f5 was played by black. It is not forced, but then where is black's counterplay? White will continue building up on his space advantage. I'm not really impressed on this idea with knight c6, bishop e6, because it's not clear to me what does black want, and such a positions we have games. And it proved to be that white is better. So we do not have high level games in this knight back to c6, these kind of lines. And if b6, then this is very dangerous. This combination of knight back to c6 and pawn on b6 doesn't make actually any sense. Because now white gets dragon-like attack. Just a dragon-like attack. And h5 came. That was game of David Howell playing with the white. He won game very easily. So this is not working for sure. I would assume that bishop e6 is maybe the best idea, followed by a6. But then let's say if I stop you, it is not clear what is exactly the follow-up. And white will push f4. So if I would be playing with a black, I would consider this Larsen variation to put back knight to e6, because with Larsen variation, I understand when I bring knight back to e6 that I can try my plan. Queen a5, d6, push pawn to fight for a dark squares. With the knight on c6, I don't exactly see how it is going to happen. So then I think that it is more interesting if black doesn't like this knight g4, queen g4, queen d1, knight e6 line, that instead of playing this knight c6, which looks quite passive to me, that it makes more sense to immediately take on d4, or to play lines with knight takes d4, which actually I would now try to explore on. And we have actually some interesting games, including some modern games, Carlsen playing with white and playing with black, the similar kind of positions.